The Axial SCX30 is hitting all the hobby shops, and the question is this thing worth picking up for $100? Well, $100 isn't a bad price point. It's close to the SCX24, so a lot of people are kind of torn between the two, and here's my opinion on the SCX30. Out of the box, this thing's actually a lot of fun. Keep in mind, this one is upgraded with a brushless motor. If you guys haven't seen that video, I'll link that down below for you guys to check out as well. We also did a video on some free mods for this thing if you pick one up and want to modify it. That being said, out of the box, this thing is a ton of fun. I've actually found myself enjoying this a little bit more than the 24th and 18th scale stuff, just because it is so small that the smallest little rock is an obstacle, and you can make some pretty cool little courses and indoor things. Now, size can also be a drawback depending on your space, because a lot of people already have SCX24 courses, and this thing does struggle a little bit on some obstacles made for that size rig. As you can see, this obstacle we're climbing now was set up and built around a modified SCX24, so it's kind of being able to pick a few lines, but it's also getting caught up in other areas. My main concern picking this up was that it was going to feel more like a toy than a scale crawler. That being said, it does not really feel like a toy. I'm pretty surprised at how well this thing crawls and how well it performs like a real vehicle. I've definitely enjoyed the challenge of a slightly smaller rig and actually having to pick some lines. It's been a lot of fun to use these past few days. Even with the brushed factory motor, it is a little bit loud. However, it's still pretty capable. It's not a terrible motor at all, but I would definitely recommend swapping to brushless if you guys have one laying around. Side note, I don't think we're gonna make it down this drop, but I figured we might as well try. Let's see. Nope, as expected. But overall, I'm very happy with this rig. Now, I will say, I hope that there's a lot more aftermarket support. I think that is what's going to make or break this rig. Another thing I really like about this setup is how the body mounts to the chassis. So you don't have any of those annoying little pins or clips that you use on the SCX24 or the SCX10s. This body actually has a clip on the front, and then it pops onto two posts that are on the front of the chassis, and the back has like a little peg that slides into a hole on the back of the chassis as well. So you slide into that rectangle hole in the middle there, and then these two posts in the front is what it clips down on. It's nice not having to mess with those little clips like you do on the SCX24s or the SCX10s. I've always hated those things, and it looks much cleaner when you don't have those. I'm interested to see how people who make chassis for this are going to figure that out. I assume they just adapt them to that chassis, but we'll see how that goes as more parts come out. But as it sits out of the box, I think this is an amazing entry-level crawler, and even if you have quite a few of them, I've found myself having a ton of fun with this little guy. It's the size of your hand, so really you could throw it in your sweatshirt pocket and hit the road and easily find some spots to crawl with this. That's the issue with the big crawlers, is it's hard to find spots. With little ones like this, you can find a couple rocks in your driveway and you're good to go. Now onto the body. This is honestly my favorite body I think that Axial's ever come out with, is this Jeep body here. So many little details, and it looks so good compared to some of the other ones, especially the 10th scale stuff. I like this one so much better. It also comes with a lot of extra parts, so you can swap out the fenders. You can swap them with like some tube style fenders on the back here and the front. You can remove pretty much everything off of the roof. You can swap the racks, get rid of your spare tire like some people do with the full-size rigs. I think this is just a really cool body, especially for the size. I wasn't expecting this much detail to be packed into this thing. So overall, is the SCX30 worth picking up for $100? In my opinion, yes. It's a lot of fun for the price. There's so many opportunities to crawl this thing just because it is so small. And if it gets the aftermarket support, I really think this thing is going to take off. And we're going to see similar to the SCX24 with all kinds of different builds. This one's cool because a lot of model kits fit it as well.